Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones, one of the world's most awarded and commercially successful collaborations in all pop music history. But the two had a rocky road to riches and superstardom that was characterized just as much by tensions and feuding than it was by unimaginable success and critical acclaim.
Picture this, a musical genius, voice soaring to the heavens, trusting the man who shaped his greatest triumphs, only to uncover a shadow he never saw coming. What if I told you that Michael Jackson, the king of pop, learned too late that Quincy Jones, his legendary producer, had a darker side that left their bond fractured? You know Michael for Thriller and Quincy for the magic behind it, but beneath the hits lies a tale of betrayal, secrets, and regret that's alleged to have haunted Michael until the end. Buckle up because we're diving into why Michael discovered Quincy's hidden edge far too late. And remember, it's all alleged. So let's treat this as a wild, entertaining ride through music history. Michael and Quincy were a dream team.
Having first worked together on the set of 1978's The Wiz, the duo would go on to forge Michael Jackson's iconic sound of the 1980s. A decade Jackson truly conquered in music with the release of Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. But after 10 years lighting up the world's music charts, the two, all of a sudden, stopped their work together and would go on to publicly distance themselves from thereafter.
Michael, the kid from Gary, Indiana, who'd conquered the world with the Jackson 5, met Quincy, a jazz maestro turned production wizard, when their paths crossed on The Wiz. Quincy had a resume that sparkled, Frank Sinatra, Count Basie, and Michael was hungry to shed his teen idol skin. Their first collaboration, Off the Wall, turned heads, but Thriller rewrote the rulebook. Over 66 million copies sold, a cultural earthquake. Quincy's touch, those horns, that groove, made Michael a supernova. They were tight, or so it seemed, with Michael calling Quincy Q, like family. But behind the Grammys, a rift allegedly brewed, one Michael didn't clock until it was too late. What went wrong? Let's start with the whispers. Quincy was a perfectionist. Some even say that he was ruthless. In the studio, he pushed Michael hard, recording Billie Jean dozens of times, tweaking every note. Michael loved it at first, but that drive had a flip side.
However, in the early recordings, it has been suggested that Quincy Jones took a less collaborative, but a more dictatorial approach. When a spectator of Thriller's recording sessions remembers walking into the control room to find that everyone's attention was fixed on the glass window. On the other side, Quincy Jones was kicking what looked like a pile of rags on the floor while shouting, "Silent, you mother f***! I said no squeaks!" It turned out that the pile of rags was a gibbering Michael Jackson. They were recording a new song called Billie Jean, and Michael Jackson had decided to fill every gap with his trademark whoops, clicks, and squeaks. Quincy, however, had decided the track would be pared down. After several hours of trying to get the singer to do what he wanted, Jones had finally snapped and attacked the singer. After the outburst, MJ sang the song how he was told to, and Billie Jean would go on to become the monster smash hit we all know today.
Allegedly, Quincy wasn't just a mentor. He was a gatekeeper, controlling the narrative. Michael poured his soul into Thriller, but Quincy's hand was everywhere. Song picks, mixes, even nudging Michael toward pop over R&B. Some say that Michael felt caged, a puppet to Quincy's vision, though he didn't see it then. Money stirred the pot too.
What's it like, the experience of working with Mr. Jones?
What was it like working with Quincy?
Yeah.
He's very professional, very talented, and he's a musical visionary. He's been around, as you know, a very long time.
Michael?
Yes?
This is Quincy. Can I call you by the name we usually talk to each other by?
Yes, if you want.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Smell it. What you say?
He said, I'm scared.
Thriller minted cash, hundreds of millions, but the split wasn't all roses. Quincy earned a producer's cut, reportedly 10% of royalties, a fortune off Michael's sweat. Michael, young and trusting, didn't blink until later. It's alleged, not proven, but the math didn't lie. Quincy banked big while Michael, the face, shouldered the fame's weight. That sting hit late, a slow burn that Michael couldn't unfeel. Then there's the credit clash. Quincy is a legend, no doubt. He shaped Beat It, brought in Eddie Van Halen, made PYT pop.
He is one of the most influential individuals in the art world and art realm altogether across genres, from music to film to television to Broadway. He had a way of blending genres from soca to jazz to rock to classical. He was classically trained. He's a graduate of the Berklee College of Music, so he was an incredible musician unto himself. And Diane, he is really known as an arranger and for having vision. He has produced one of the #1 selling albums of all time, which is Thriller by Michael Jackson. But he has also too helped the other incredible legacy of music with bringing together an assortment of stars in We Are the World. Also too, Diane, the most incredible thing I think many will remember by Quincy Jones is with his production of The Wiz. The way that he was able to break down that scene of the Emerald City, where you had 3 different movements based upon color, where you had green, you had red, and you had gold. And he was able to create 3 different musical movements within that same space that has left a legacy that will be admired to come.
But Michael wrote the bones, Billie Jean, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and he allegedly felt that Quincy hogged the glory. In a 1983 interview, Quincy boasted, I took Michael to another level, a line that rankled. The tension simmered, Quincy basking in Thriller's glow, Michael quietly stewing. Allegedly, he realized too late that Quincy's shine came at his expense. The bad era cracked the facade. After Thriller, Michael tapped Quincy again, chasing that magic. Bad sold 35 million, not Thriller numbers, but massive. Yet cracks showed. Quincy pushed a harder edge, think Smooth Criminal, while Michael wanted soul, like I Just Can't Stop Loving You. Allegedly, they clashed. Michael, in private tapes, hinted at feeling boxed in. The album soared, but their vibe supposedly shifted. Less partners, more boss and star. Michael didn't cut ties yet, but the seeds were there.
So we know a lot about Michael Jackson, and you were just talking about him. What on those albums, Thriller for example, is you? You know, you have his music, some of his writing, some of his
but look,
influence.
we take his stuff and take it to another level. Don't stop till you get enough. It's very well known that Michael sent me a note. Could you please take off the violins in the introduction? No, it's messed up my groove. You know what that line was? Diddle 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 diddle. The identifying line on the goddamn song.
So he said, take it off?
Yeah.
And you said?
No way. You don't tell me what to do. No.
Who was right?
Well, what ended up on the record? That's one of the strongest parts of the introduction. Diddle 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 diddle. Would been right.
Yeah.
Ben Wright wrote that. This was a Motown arranger.
Ego played a role in all this, too. Quincy's larger than life. 27 Grammys, a swagger that filled rooms. Michael, shy off stage, leaned on him, but that dynamic allegedly flipped. Quincy's stories grew tall. Michael allegedly didn't like being painted as Quincy's creation. He supposedly felt used by people he trusted. Did this include Quincy? Alleged, sure, but the vibe fits. Michael's awakening came slow. He'd given Quincy too much trust, too much power. The real gut punch? Quincy's loose lips. Years later, he spilled tea, calling Michael greedy, claiming he stole hooks from other artists. Billie Jean? Quincy alleged that it echoed Donna Summer's State of Independence. Harsh, public, and late, Michael was gone, unable to clap back. In life, Quincy stayed coy, but post-Michael, he unloaded. Allegedly, Michael never saw that betrayal coming. Quincy, his cue, turning critic when the mic was off. It's a dark twist, one Michael missed until the end. Their last dance, We Are the World, showed strain. Michael co-wrote it with Lionel Richie, Quincy producing. The song triumphed, but the rift deepened. Michael's camp, folks like manager Frank DeLeo, allegedly nudged him to ditch Quincy, sensing a power imbalance. Michael held on, loyal to a fault, but dangerous marked the break. No Quincy, all Michael. Too late, some say. He'd already let Quincy shape his peak. What's the dark side? Allegedly, it's Quincy's ambition. Ruthless, self-serving, a mentor who became a mirror reflecting his own glory. Quincy defended himself, saying that he gave Michael everything, but his later jabs paint a colder picture. Michael, naive in trust, allegedly didn't see the shift. Quincy thriving off his talent, then spinning the tale. The fallout lingered. Michael's later work, Invincible, History, lacked Quincy's polish, but gained his voice. He claimed that he wanted freedom in his art, a hint at past chains.
See, the thing is, artists seem to get in the way of the music. Get out of the way of the music. You know, don't write the music. Let the music write itself.
Quincy, meanwhile, kept producing, but none of his projects hit Michael's heights. Their split was quiet. There was no public feud, just distance. Allegedly, Michael regretted not seeing Quincy's edge sooner. A lesson in fame's fine print. Fans feel it too. On X, they debate, Quincy made Michael but took too much, versus Michael outgrew him. Clips of Quincy's interviews, smirking, shading, contrast Michael's soft praise. The disconnect was stark, and allegedly, Michael paid the price, emotionally, financially, and artistically. But there is no real hard proof of any of this. At the end of the day, it seems like Michael's trust was pure. Quincy was his guide, his safety net. By the time he saw the cracks, it was etched in history. Thriller binds them forever. A masterpiece with a shadow. Quincy's dark side, alleged hunger, and a knack for rewriting the script to star himself. Michael, the dreamer, learned the game after the glory faded. Too late to rewrite their saga. But here's the kicker. That betrayal, real or rumored, adds a layer to the king's crown. Alleged, unconfirmed, all for fun. Next time you hear Billie Jean, picture Michael. Trusting, triumphant, then stung. Quincy's mark is there. Brilliant and bittersweet. That's the tale we're chewing on. A musical bromance with a dark twist. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on Quincy and Michael's partnership? Do you think Quincy truly had a dark side? Should Michael have noticed it sooner? It's true that the two of them produced some real magic together. Their work is famous to this day, and it will likely forever stay that way. It's clear that their dynamic paid off big time. But was Quincy just using Michael? Did Michael know that? Do you think the people around him might have tried to warn him about Quincy? Their story is just so complex and mysterious. They were an amazing team, but did their relationship come at a cost for Michael? Did Quincy push him too far? What do you think? And what's your favorite Michael Jackson song? Let me know what your thoughts and theories are in the comments below.